Tonight, we learn who journeys to Pullman this weekend for their first WSU football game.
And how some might find it difficult to get here.
And an update on a scam. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Patrick Gerardis.
And I'm Abby Tudor. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
For the first time in history, College Game Day comes to Pullman. It took 15 years of Old Crimson flying in the air every College Game Day for it to finally come home. The ESPN show will come to the Palouse for the matchup between the number 25 ranked Cougars and the 12th ranked University of Oregon. College Game Day broke the news via Twitter, and people on and off campus lost their minds. The game sold out before the announcement even came from Game Day, and Alaska Airlines even received requests for more flights to Pullman. Just because College Game Day makes its way to Pullman for the first time doesn't mean everything goes according to plan. Sometimes chaos takes over. Dax McCoy joins us from Martin Stadium to explain what authorities in Pullman will do to protect you from crime with the added excitement over the weekend. Dax?
With more people coming to Pullman for College Game Day's first appearance this Saturday, authorities encourage residents to take extra care of their belongings, but more importantly, to stay safe from overindulging in celebration. Cougar Football Saturdays sometimes end in chaos. Just last year, 15 occurrences of couch burnings took place at the end of football games in Pullman. Pullman Fire Chief Mike Heston says the safety of celebrators participating in stunts comes from unsafe drinking, but says the department's presence deters some of the behavior.
Patrolling the streets right after the game, so we're very visible to folks. So they would see us driving by and give them second thoughts about trying to do something like that.
On Saturdays, both departments get their full crew available and send a detachment to the stadium. But after games, they hold on to their crews just to make sure. But what does fire get called for more than any other incident? Assaults, usually from people under the influence of alcohol. And burning a couch gets even worse if it catches a house on fire. That and the assaults can lead you into jail with a felony.
So we don't want you to do anything crazy that's going to get you kicked out of school or get somebody hurt or get yourself hurt too. At the core of the message, authorities just want residents and visitors to have a good time while in Pullman. At Martin Stadium, I'm Dax McCoy, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Dax. And now a traffic update that might affect the commute to Saturday's game. The Central Washington Bridge project that will close down 18 miles of Highway 26 between Othello and US 395 begins today and will cause major traffic delays for those traveling across the state. The 6-week project will replace the deck on State Route 26, and the 14-mile detour added through Connell should only add about 15 minutes to the drive. But with traffic doubling every game weekend, that means much longer delays for those making the trip.
The Executive Safety, Health, and Security Steering Committee hosts the 2018 WSU Safety, Health, and Security Fair and Awards event tomorrow. The fair features local business vendor booths and provides participants with interactive demonstrations, helping them to learn to change a tire as well as other things. One of the organizers for the event, Mike Kluzik, says participants can get more hands-on experience at the fair.
Well, we found that the more interactive the different participants' displays are, the more people will be more engaged and interested in their subjects. So we tried to have a diverse range of different subjects with a lot of different things that people can actually get their hands on and play with and do.
They want to make the fair an annual event open for all students and staff as well as residents of Pullman. The fair takes place tomorrow in the Cubs Senior Ballroom from 10:30 to 1:30. You might have noticed a lot of little bugs flying around on your way to campus. Taylor Swanson investigated why these pests keep bugging us.
Over the past week, the many students that walk to and from campus and class began noticing flurries of a small white substance.
Well, I was walking through campus and it was cold and I saw these, what I thought were flurries, and so I thought it was snowing, which surprised me. But then I realized that they were actually tiny little insects, and then after that I started seeing them a lot more.
Clinical professor of entomology Richard Zach knew exactly what insects were floating around the Palouse.
The insects that we're seeing flying around is called the smoky winged ash aphid. So people refer to them as gnats or, like bugs or something, but it's a type of aphid.
Currently, we are seeing these aphids in a mating stage, which is causing these large swarms of insects. But we're going to see the swarms begin to die off in the next few weeks.
Usually it's about a 2.5 week window where you start to see them. And the length of that, and it could go anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, a little more than that. But what starts to knock them down is cold weather.
The question that interests most students, why did all these insects appear now?
All summer, these things are feeding underground on the roots of a plant. Well, you'd never see them, nothing at all. And then all of a sudden in the fall, for this couple week period, they become this tremendous nuisance that's getting in your hair, your eyes, every place like that. Probably everyone that's lived in the Palouse recognizes these things. And if you lived here long enough, they're going to come out. But that's it. That's the only time you ever see them.
The worst of the aphids has come and gone, but you should still expect a few more swarms flying around campus. Taylor Swanson, Murrow News 8.
So they're actually aphids, not gnats. That's pretty interesting.
I didn't really look into them. I just viewed them as annoying little bugs that got in my way. When we come back, find out about an opportunity to meet potential Idaho representatives.
And an update on this week's weather forecast when Murrow News 8 continues.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
The Thomas S. Foley Institute recently joined the National Civility Network in an effort to broaden access to resources, including national programming, guest speakers, and academic research. The National Civility Network, operating out of the National Institute for Civil Discourse at the University of Arizona, established itself after the shooting of former U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords. According to its website, the nonpartisan organization aims to promote healthy and civil debate.
Now, the network is part of the National Institute for Civil Discourse, which was established back in 2011 after Gabby Giffords was shot, to look at questions of civility and their relationship to democracy.
Representatives of the Foley Institute also say joining the network will allow a higher level of public discourse on WSU's campus and the state. Meet and greet the people who could represent you in Washington, D.C. tonight at the University of Idaho's Vandal Ballroom. Wait, Who Am I Voting For?, hosted by the University of Idaho Center for Volunteerism and Social Action, will feature all candidates running to represent Latah County in the Senate and House of Representatives. Moderated by social action coordinators for the group, candidates will answer questions from students, faculty, and community members. The event begins at 6 p.m. tonight on the second floor of the Bruce Pittman Center, Vandal Ballroom.
The University of Idaho seems to charge more for public records than other major universities in the state. After a request for the records from Boise State University, Idaho State University, and U of I, both Boise and Idaho State sent copies of requests at no cost, while it would have cost an estimated $190 for the U of I to furnish. According to Idaho Public Records law, public institutions can charge for materials because of personnel hours needed to furnish requests. The Office of General Counsel declined to comment on why U of I's office assesses higher fees than other universities. And next, Sinead joins us in the Weather Center with an update on this week's forecast.
And find out about an addition to the royal family when Murrow News 8 returns.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back. With the big announcement about Game Day coming to Pullman, Aishanae Taylor joins us now to explain what weather tailgaters should expect.
So Aishanae, what will those first-timers experience on their first trip to the Palouse?
You know what? They picked a great weekend to come. We'll see a lot of sunny skies and clear days, and Pullman was actually a great indicator of that today. We had a high of 59, and right now it's about 45 degrees. Usually I hate Mondays. It's like a slow crawl out of bed. I never want to get up. But with the sun shining through my window, it was actually the perfect day for me to get out of bed. And for statewide, you're going to start seeing a lot of similar temperatures, sun across the board. On the east side, Spokane had a high of 60. And Wenatchee 63, Yakima had a high of 65. You see the same thing on the west side of the state. And actually Vancouver reached all the way up to 73 degrees. I bet they're loving that. For tomorrow, still around the same kinds of temperatures. You'll still see the sun, but it's still a little chilly out there. My boyfriend definitely came over for the weekend. He brought me some wood, taught me all about how to make a fire in my chimney, because trust me, I am clueless, but I'm completely prepared for those cold fall nights leading into the winter season. And if you go for the rest of the week, still lots of sun everywhere. Monday is the same thing, and and you'll notice that it was just an amazing week for Game Day coming up this weekend.
When we come back, some exciting Royal news. Stay tuned. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, announced they will have their first child in the spring. Kensington Palace announced the news on Twitter early this morning, just 5 months after the royal couple tied the knot in front of millions of people. The couple will continue to tour Australia and New Zealand for 16 days, then will head to Fiji and Tonga. Their trip totals more than 70 engagements on behalf of Queen Elizabeth and the Foreign and Commonwealth Office.
Thank you for watching tonight. Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great evening, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.